welcome to the Melissa Banks Show. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. I'm excited you decided to join us today. This show is all about celebrating the journeys of authors, entrepreneurs, and people who are boldly chasing their dreams, creating meaningful products and services, and inspiring others to do the same. Each episode will uncover the stories behind the successes, the lessons learned from challenges, and the advice that can spark action in your own life. My goal is simple. It's to remind you that your dreams are possible and to leave you feeling inspired and empowered. I'm excited about today's show, so let's get started with today's guest, author Harold Phifer, who has an incredible story to share with us. Welcome to the show, Harold.
Thank you. Harold Phifer. I'm the author of the new book, My Bully, My Aunt, and Her Final Gift. It's on Amazon.com, ebook, and the audiobook. But the paperback is on BookBaby Bookshop.
Oh,
But glad to be here. And any question you guys got, fire away.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you about your journey. Talk to us just from the beginning, Harold. What sparked your journey as an author, and how did you turn that dream into reality?
Yeah. I had a weird, I guess, depressing childhood, and I'm not the first, but along the way, though, I said, man, I'm gonna write about this someday, and never really did, but you start. I used to read a lot of newspaper, Leonard Pitts articles and stuff like that. I kind of fascinated with it. I'm like, yeah, I want to do something like that one day. Anyway, long story short, never wrote the book. And in the book, Surviving Chaos, How I Found Peace at a Beach Bar, I talked about being trapped by the Taliban and thinking I'm going to be executed. My mind and my life started flashback before my eyes. And, in that moment, I said, God, if you let me out of here, I'm gonna write the book. And Surviving Chaos is the book. Surviving Chaos, How I Found Peace at the Beach Bar. I did get out. I wrote the book. So once I wrote the book, I continued to write. I guess you could say I stuck to my vows that I made to God that I would start writing. And that's what got me going.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Harold, often in our journey, and for me, there are certain places in my journey that I refer back to as a defining moment because something happened in that moment that changed who I am. Can you share with us a moment that you consider a turning point in your journey and that has shaped who you are today?
Wow. Yeah, it's been a bunch of them. The turning point. God, I don't know. It's been about like I lived a life where, and I told someone I said I was never comfortable until about 28,
Mm.
and I never showed it, and people never knew, and that's what the first book was about. I hid it so well, and people that read that book like, man, we didn't know. I'm like, well, I didn't want you to know. It was a life I wanted I wanted to get away from. Um, weird thing. I was about 22, and I've always been decently intelligent, hard worker, all that. A decent person, and 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 I do think I got a voice that said, "Yeah, you're smart, you're determined, you're a good person, but you don't have confidence."
Mm. You're cutting out on us, Harold, a little bit.
And
Can you still hear me?
I got you. Oh yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
We're
because
going in and out, but I do.
yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, Harold, let's talk about your journey though. first of all, it shows such great confidence to. I was reading, and you started as an air traffic controller, but you weren't at peace there. You made a decision to do something else. So in
Right.
our journey, we do face lots of challenges. What would be
Right.
a challenge, a particular challenge that you faced that you had to rise above, and share with us how you were able to rise above it and not let that stop you and continue to move it through your journey?
Oh, wow. Um, ha. Once I became air traffic controller, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, especially right now. I target being a government worker. True story. When I was a kid, like if I become a government worker, I got I got career protection. I got I don't have to worry about fighting this fight every day. Okay,
Mm.
so I was about 46. I worked for the government, and I almost got fired and got demoted, where I was making about a third of what I was making prior to. Okay, and it broke me so bad. Um, Lost, wife, kids, home, cars, and it really broke me. And I sat there and I said, well, I didn't get here by not fighting. I didn't get this far. I didn't get over that hump. I didn't get here by not believing. Did I think like it would change? 50-50, 50-50. But I knew I had to toughen up and find a way. And it did. Better jobs came, better opportunity. Um, but it wasn't there for about 3 years, though. So that was a tough point. It was a tough because I wanted to be a better father than I had, and to see myself lose my kids, that broke me. You know, it was like I just never saw it. I never thought it would be me.
You know, one of the things that you just talked about that just stands out to me so much is, even though the loss was really, really great and you lost a lot, and you could have made a different choice, though. You could have said, okay, these are all bad things, and I'm not even trying, I'm not moving forward. But what did you say? You pushed through, even though it took so much time, because you were so committed. And I hope our audience caught that in what you just said, because that was so important. You've written some really amazing books, Errol, and you've shared a lot in these books. What is it that you hope the audience will take away from the books that you write?
Oh, definitely resilience. Believing in yourself. A lot of the time, the answer sometimes is within you. Um, and even the things I've lost or things I didn't do, it was there. I just ignored it. You know, um, I I'm not the most religious person, but I believe you should believe in something, something to sustain you. Because even we question ourselves, but maybe God is there, something to hold you, something to keep you on your course, and it helped me, definitely helped me.
Now, if you're just joining us, you're watching The Melissa Banks Show, and today our guest is Harold Phifer, her author, and incredible story that he's sharing with us. Thank you for joining us. Harold, let's talk about just starting a dream. Oftentimes we have this dream, we want to start it, we're talking about doing it. Even yourself, you said you kept saying you were going to do it, and you kept saying you were going to do it until something happened that you really pushed that button and got started. And I know you're excited that you do it. What advice would you have for someone who hasn't been able to say, I'm starting, and putting that start button and moving forward on their dream? What advice would you give to them?
And I bet you can relate to this. Sometimes we don't acknowledge how unique we are, and I think we all got that herd mentality. I think it's just a part of us. You want to be like the crowd, or you want to blend in the crowd, or you hope to grow with the crowd. Well, success is not like that. A lot of times it's just for you. You know, those gifts that you have are just for you. That path is just pathway to success just for you. And you gotta know how to walk that path. Not be mean to your friends or relative, but just let them know, hey, this is the direction I'm going in. I'm not blowing you guys off. I'm not saying I don't love you or still your friend, but this is my direction. And I think a lot of people lose success by sticking to the herd.
Mm, love that. Love that. Tara, sometimes things do get a little tough on this journey of entrepreneurship, whether you or working for someone else, being a creative. It's not as easy as we make it seem when we show up in public. We make it seem like we're moving through it and everything's great. Sometimes it really is tough. Share with us
Right.
how you keep motivated and stay focused on your goals.
I try to find a way to like what I'm doing, like even the writing, or even say doing podcasts, um, even the work I'm doing. Even back in school, I realized if I can make myself like this math, or make myself like the English, I'm gonna do better at it. You
Mhm.
know, and I try to find ways to like things that I was involved in.
I think that's really good advice because one of the things that over the last 5 years, my own journey, I had to step into some areas that were uncomfortable for me. But what I found out though is if you're doing something you love, that can help you stay motivated. That can help you stay pushing through
Hmm.
to the next thing, and that opens up so many other opportunities. So I definitely agree with you on that. So talk to us about what's next. Do you have another book out coming out? What's next for you?
Probably write more fiction than anything. I write in both genres. My bully, my aunt, and her final gift is it's about 85, 90% uh, true, based on a true story.
Mm.
I write under a pen name called Dean Conan, which is fiction, and it's more graphic, sensual, um, whole different ball game, like a 180. But but that built from experiences, though not my experience, but that I put into characters. And one of the things I tell them, I said, my brother was nice looking, and all his friends were nice looking, pretty boys. They had the juice. And so I would go see my brother in time to time and hang out for a couple hours, and I would kind of see the magic or see what they had, just kind of observing. So some of the characters I built in the fiction book are stuff that I learned from being around these guys.
Wow. Well, we're excited about your story. Tell me about the Rise and Read that I'm seeing behind you. The riseandread.com.
Yeah, right. That's the name of my company, but the Rise and Read is the website,
Okay.
riseandread.com,
Okay, awesome. Is that how
and
our
you
audience
see all my books
know
there.
how they can stay connected?
And right, appreciate it. Yeah, you go riseandread.com, and you can drop your email, send me messages. We can connect or follow me there. Um, you can go to Facebook. I'm at Harold Phifer 2024 on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Harold Phifer 2024, and like I said, you can send messages, whatever, or follow my promotion, and hopefully you see any of my promotion, you like and share. I want to reach out, let many people as I can or as we can. observe it, take it in. Eventually, hopefully, we get on bigger and bigger, platforms, and we ought to be a part of that. I think a lot of things that I do and write about, it's a lot about average people, and I kind of want to keep putting it out to sharing it. I know I do it in a comical way, and some of it's shocking, but I think people like it. Once they read it, most people like it. Like I said, even my book, My Bully, My Aunt, and Found a Gift, they're flying off the shelf. Amazon can't keep its stock right now, and have to go back to the publisher with his book baby. Book baby still have copies.
Well, that's an awesome, awesome problem to have, that it can't stay on the shelf, because it's such a powerful book to read, and we're excited about it. And thank you for sharing your journey with us. It was such an honor to have you here today, and we wish you much success.
I appreciate it.
And
Appreciate it.
thank you to our audience for joining us today for the Melissa Banks Show. I hope today's conversation with Harold Phifer reminded you that your dreams are within reach, no matter where you're starting. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. Until next time, remember, your journey is unique, your dreams are valid, and you have the power to design the life you love. Keep believing, keep growing, and keep shining. Until next time.